From Monday to Tuesday, you don't have any fun. From Wednesday to Thursday, just going out for a run. Friday and Saturday, you're always getting drunk. And Sunday, you stay at home and never go to church.
Eddie here in studio tonight with us. Oh, by the way, you're listening to MyNightOut Radio. In studio tonight, it's the band you just heard, 1031. The name of the song was "I Will Not Drown." Guys, I'm going to come right off the top. I always talk about food first because I am a consumer of fine edibles. That's the nice way of calling. No, that's my way of calling myself a fat bastard and not really feeling bad about it.
You're not fat. You're just husky.
Husky. No. Husky's when you're in grammar school and you got to buy the corduroy pants while you go in a Catholic school.
With the balloon seat.
It's already been a fun one. If you're just tuning in, we just did Tony Jones' show, and, well, we've been laughing right along, so it's going to get goofy tonight. So I'm going to come right off the top. How did you guys get together?
Well, it's half of a Craigslist success story and half of just
not
recycled Rhode Island.
personals.
Yeah, not the
Not
personals.
the personals.
Right.
Thank you for clarifying, because I was just going to make that joke.
Craigslist success story, and the other half was recycled Rhode Island musicians.
Yeah.
Me and Eric the bass player who's unfortunately not here. We had played in a project before, came off that project, said, hey, let's get another one going. Katie I had met about, coincidentally, 3 years ago on Craigslist, and this was her first hurrah in a band, so once she built up that courage and got over the stage
got
fright.
the balls to actually start.
Yep, she gave me a message, said, hey, I'm ready to go, so Eric and I grabbed her, and my friend Rock 3, a.k.a. Roger, we had played in a high school band back in the mid-'90s all the way up till about 2000, and he moved to Ohio and ended up back in East Providence, which everybody, they leave East Providence and they come right back. And I gave him a call, and he picked up the guitar, and now
That's it.
That's it.
Just
pretty
like
much.
old tricks.
And then we just added someone else too. We can't
Yep.
exclude him.
Yep. We just put another guitarist on. His name's Brian Leary. Unfortunately, he's buying a house, so he's actually at a realtor meeting right now.
Oh.
So yes. So
How selfish of him.
I know.
Buying a house or being on the radio. Obviously, you know what my choice would have been. So you guys are talking about past bands. Are you free to talk about these past bands, or
absolutely.
was it?
Yeah.
So what are some of the other bands you have been? Obviously, the lead singer has not been. This is
my
you know.
first band, so I cannot be included in this conversation.
So what is some of the other bands that you guys have been in?
First it was Roger and I in Sidetrack that started our illustrious musical career. And then for me, once Sidetrack, we split as friends because we were all young. Life gets in the way. But once we left Sidetrack, I ended up playing with a band called Deadpan Sally, which again had some other recycled Rhode Island musicians in it. And then after that, I had the awesome pleasure of playing with Mr. Tony Jones and the Cretin 3.
RJ played on one of the best punk rock EPs of the past 20 years, Tony Jones and the Cretin 3's Midnight Mass, which hangs on our very wall.
Hey man,
That's it?
that's a pretty solid album. I still like that album to this day.
It's right next to the rubber hose he beats me with if I use the word
But after Tony Jones, I moved on with a band called briefly Sour Punch, and then it was transformed into Lucky United. Played with Jen Kitten for about 3 years. Eric and I, that's how we met each other, and we ended up splitting from that and getting back into good old rock and roll, So.
And what about you?
And I after Sidetrack, I just pretty much took a hiatus, I guess, and just did a lot of songwriting. Wrote the song that.
So you never really got the music out of your system. You just
It's always been there. Yeah.
All right.
Wrote the song that my wife and I danced to our first dance at our wedding. And,
oh nice.
Yeah, I just had a bunch of things that just pretty much were backburnered. And I played with a couple of buddies when I first moved back to Rhode Island for a little bit, and then that was pretty much it. And then RJ gave me the call and said, I got some people lined up. Do you want to do something? And
This
perfect
almost
timing.
has like a Blues Brothers theme to it. We're getting the band back together on a mission from God.
Yeah.
history came back, so. Yep.
Yeah, and it's good to play with Roger again. I mean, how many people can honestly sit here and tell you you're still playing with a member and using some of your songs from when you played in high school 20 years ago for me now.
God bless you.
Time flies.
Oh, you're getting old, man. I say that, but I just had my 25th reunion, so
Yeah, but it's it's still cool to relive that, and actually have songs, like Hand That Feeds is about 20 years old now. To have a song that we wrote back then to be able to use now in 2016 is pretty awesome,
Well,
So.
as luck would have it, I used to go to school with a few other local musicians. Maybe you've heard of Kilgore and
Yeah.
Smudge.
Yeah, Kilgore Smudge. Yeah.
Well, I had I went to high school with all of them.
That's awesome.
So, as luck would have it, last Saturday we had the tribute to Joe Moody. God rest him.
his soul.
Yeah.
Well, Kilgore closed the night out. It was absolutely amazing. And in the back of my mind, I'm looking on stage, seeing lead singer Jay Burnt, seeing him how he is now, and remembering him with the shaved head, with the long hair in front of his face, and just like the two just don't jive together. But you know it's the same person.
Yeah. it's
I got
like-
a guitar case that's littered with bumper stickers, and I think I got Kilgore Smudge on it. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Dave Lysick from Shed. I've known
Yeah.
him for God only knows how many years. And
It's funny to look at Roger now because he looks a little older, but when we played in Sidetrack, he had this, I don't know if you remember, it was out for a short while, but Bad Frog Beer. It had this awesome frog flipping everybody off.
Yes.
And Roger's signature sleeveless T-shirt was Bad Frog beer. So he must have retired it because I haven't seen it since. But
I don't even know.
I know what you mean from high school to now.
Gotta bring it back.
Yeah, 20, 25,
retro,
however
man.
many years. I mean, you still get the same sound. You have this. You're always going to mesh. If you mesh with one person when you're in high school, you know you're going to mesh for the rest of your life. But you know that one thing or whatever, you know, that time frame that you're not playing together. I think it makes the sound better because you get other influences other than each other.
Right.
Yep.
So why don't we take a break? Going to play a band that I actually listened to at Warped Tour 2015. I had the opportunity to go there for free
Nice.
because I was chaperoning my niece.
Awesome.
That's
He
that
I
whole.
can see
Valid
why, I can
excuse.
see why they picked you.
It's that old joke all over.
He went on the
again.
old geezer pass.
It was the parental pass, but long story. I'm not even going to get
No
into
one
it.
needs to know that.
Anyways, the name of the band is Sleeping with Sirens. The name of the song is Better Off Dead. We'll be back in a minute.
She said she wants to end it all when she's all alone in her room. She cries. The way she feels inside is too much for her. When all you got is these four walls, it's not that hard to feel so small. Or even exist at all. How come no one heard her when she said, maybe I'm better off dead. If I was, would it finally be enough? Shut out all those voices in my head. Maybe I'm better off dead, better off dead. Did you hear a word I said? This is not where I belong. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. This is not where I belong. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. She doesn't know she's beautiful, 'cause no one's ever told her so. And the demons that she hides are all she knows. But maybe she could fall in love with someone in her life that she could trust and tell her she's enough. How come no one heard her when she said, maybe I'm better off dead. If I was, would it finally be enough? Shut out all those voices in my head. Maybe I'm better off dead, better off dead. Did you hear a word
All right, that was 1031, Hand That Feeds. Before that, Sleeping with Sirens, Better Off Dead. Well, in studio, we have 1031 with us. We've been talking a little bit about the foundation of the band. We're going to take a left-hand turn now. Most of the time I'm talking about food because, well, that's what we go for. So I'm going to throw a few things out there. Now, first off, after every show, do you have that one go-to thing where you just need, you're craving either a burger or just something you have to have after every show?
I don't eat before a show.
What is that one thing you go for?
I honestly hit a drive-through hard. No jokes.
Well, I've been drinking after a lot of shows, so I can hit a drive-through pretty hard too. But
she hits it in a good way.
No, definitely.
He hits the side of the building.
$2,000 in damage, but no. So what do you go for?
Just
Burgers,
greasy, anything I can completely devour fast.
Well, once we get you guys playing in Rhode Island, you have to go for, and this is what I did last night right after Kahuna. I hit Oneyville, New York system.
Oh,
I like a good hot weenie, but I got a joint down there where I live. It's been there since I was a kid and even beforehand, called Riverside Grill, and they have some. I always debate this with everybody, but their gaggies are pretty good, man.
Well, being a true Rhode Islander, I like authenticity, and believe it or not, they are not the original. They are the second New York system. The first New York system in the state of Rhode Island is actually on Smith Street.
Okay.
The personal preference, I like Oneyville. Now, Oneyville has been the longest continually operating because Smith Street had a fire a couple of years back. So, yeah, that was very tragic. You know how long it took them to put out that fire just from the grease that's on the grill?
Instead of using water, they put it out with celery salt.
Yeah. But anyways, Oneyville, New York system is one of those ubiquitous things. You go to a really bad neighborhood to get some really good food. The more you're taking your life into your hands to get that food, the better it's going to taste. And granted, having killed a 6-pack or 12-pack in the last hour didn't help. But, the food was excellent. I mean, well, as excellent as hot wieners can be, I guess. Another stuff.
I can relate because if I eat before a show, I'll throw up.
Right?
And, Gigi Allen's not around anymore, so we don't need that. So I'll hit Crown Fried Chicken because they stay open till 3 a.m. after a Providence show, and they're just so excited to see me. It's like they really roll out the red carpet at Crown Fried Chicken when they see me rolling in after a show.
When in doubt, there's always Taco Bell too.
Honestly, I can't do Taco Bell anymore. There's something about
He hit the drive-through too hard.
well, there is that whole restraining order doesn't help. But no, there's something about Taco. I just can't go there anymore. Honestly, almost all chains, I can't bring myself to. I think it's more of a mental block than it is the actual food, because food's food. And, you're hungry enough, you'll eat just about anything.
Now, did you see our friends at Jell's Kitchen yesterday? Neil Osterhut ate 20 tacos in 20 minutes, and coming up in second place was our own Doug Izzy. He
That's
almost
right.
got 20 tacos in 20 minutes. Man, I cannot even fathom 20 tacos in 20 minutes.
I like tacos, but to speed eat a taco, man, that's
The end result will not be too good.
there can be no good that came of that. Yes, in news reports, side note, there was a tidal wave at the cesspool plant. Anyways, another place I went, it was the only thing I actually did today. Like I said, it was a 16-hour show. I didn't want to move at all. I could barely move now. But you got to eat. So I went right down the road, probably about a mile down the road here. I went to Doherty's Lakeside. Excellent beer selection. I am a sucker for anything with an alcohol content. Anyways, they had prime rib on the menu, and it was nice, big, perfectly cooked. Seasoning, you got to have that nice salty bite to it on the crust. Mashed potatoes, you can tell they use a bunch of butter. They should have a cardiologist on staff by the way they taste. But yeah, no, Doherty's, I can't say they are very good. We also tried something a little bit on the healthier side. Every time I say we, I don't keep like a mouse in my pot. I am married. My wife came with me. We tried the tuna sashimi tacos. Sorry, nachos. Tuna sashimi nachos. You know, it's a little bit strange. Not the best incarnation. The best ones I've ever had were at the Shanty a couple weeks ago, but they are right up there. They're really good. And the last one I got to say, and it's probably the third week in a row I'm going to say this, is Donahue's Pizza. In Rhode Island terms, it's the old Kingston Pizza in West Warwick. The pizza's excellent there. I've tried pretty much everything on their menu at some point. Not at once. Yeah, I just order everything, lay it on my chest, and I eat like an otter. No, honestly, I had a salad. I had a Greek salad.
Yeah, right.
Don't make me call my wife to prove this. I have gotten a Greek salad there, and it was within the last couple of days. And they have, and here's where the grease comes in, the everything sandwich. It sounds so wrong. It's just so right. It does rapidly.
Yes.
So, and the last one I gotta say, because I did take my bike out this week, I always manage somehow to end up in Pasco. Have you ever been to Pasco? Could you even find
Pasco? I was just there today. I was just in Foster, Gloucester, Pasco. I was all
okay.
out there today. Yeah.
Well, in Pasco Cafe, while you're doing your, you've never been there. It's the old Gagne's. Okay. $6, burger, fries, and beer.
I'm all over that.
And they have dollar drafts. So for under $20, you can get lunch and a pretty good buzz. So again, Pasco Cafe. It's right on the main street. I think it's Route 107. Yeah, you follow 102 to what?
That's something. Right.
It's like hopscotch up there. Just roll the dice and take a chance.
But
But
as long as it's not Wright's Farm.
when you get there, you listen for the banjos. You'll find it. But yeah, that was my eating adventures in the last week. What about you guys? Anything really stand out, or have you even gone out in the last?
I've been to a couple of good places. I don't know if you've ever been, but I tried Sonia's Near East on Park Ave in Cranston.
Been by there, never tried it.
Excellent food in there. They're really good.
What did you have there?
I had a chicken salad BLT. That's a pretty interesting combo, but it was excellent.
Cool.
And my go-to always is a personal favorite is the Meeting Street Cafe.
Yes,
I've
been there.
Yep, over off at Thayer Street on
Yep.
Meeting Street. So that's the place I mostly frequent. But this weekend that's pretty much where we went. We hit up those two places.
Cool.
Today I went to my good old kitchen, cooked up some chicken parmesan that I'm looking forward to eating to when I get home tonight. So.
Okay. Well, getting back, I'm not as subtle as Tony. I don't do these nice transition segue things. Why don't we just get back to the band? And you guys have a show coming up, or you guys have a Halloween show coming up, I should say.
Yes,
We do.
And you can actually get into great detail about that.
sure. The show is going to be October 15th. It's going to be at a sportsman's club, and I know that sounds a little funny, but
Not to be confused with the Sportsman's Inn.
no track marks. We rented the place. It's down in Riverside, right off the Wampanoag Trail. Pretty easy to get to. It's set back in the woods, so it's kind of got a good vibe for a Halloween show. It's no street lights. It's dark.
Off of 116, I believe, or 114?
114, yeah, Wampanoag
Okay.
Trail, yeah. So we rented that place. Got a cool feeling. We got 3 bands lined up right now. It's us, and then another band called Those Alone, and 3 Parts Dead, which I highly recommend you check both those bands out. They do have music available online.
I've actually worked with both of them, and I play their music.
Oh, there you go.
So, awesome bands.
Awesome bands.
Awesome
Great
guys.
Yeah.
So we're going to be playing with them. We're hoping to maybe squeeze one more band in there if the gentleman in the corner can get on it. We'll see.
That's the first time I've ever heard someone try to squeeze Tony in. It's just a little room. We'll just squeeze
People
Mr.
try to
Jones in.
squeeze me out of a few places over the years, but never in.
So we're hoping to, hopefully we can get one more band in there. There's going to be a DJ, play some music between sets. Costumes are strongly encouraged. There's going to be a bar. Right now we're doing a ticket pre-sale, $5 a ticket. If you visit our webpage, 1031NE on Facebook, There's a Shop Now button. Click that little fella, and you can purchase your tickets. We're really hoping we get a big turnout because we're going to try to make this an annual event, so everybody gets a chance to play, and hopefully we can move on to different venues and locations if we can make it an annual thing. So we hope to see everybody come out and show some support.
Cool. We actually played there back in the day, Sidetrack as well.
We did. We did for a fundraiser.
Well, why don't we take a break here? We're going to leave here with 30 Silver. The name of the song is Goat. We'll be back in a minute.
So brave.
right, that was the McGunks. Halfway to Hell. Before that was 30 Silver, Goat. By the way, if you want to be part of the show and you want to come on and talk about whatever you got coming up, upcoming events, you want to promote yourself, you want to promote your band, hit me up, MyNightOutRadio at Verizon.net. Check out our website, MyNightOutRI.com, Facebook /MyNightOut, Twitter and Instagram, DJ Psyco Eddie or MyNightOutRI. Either one, we will respond to you. You definitely want to check us out. Also, don't forget, upcoming, we have some great stuff, which we'll talk about a little bit later, because I want to get back chatting with 1031, our in-studio guests. You know, I got to say, just listening to the couple of tracks that you guys put out, and by the way, I have visited Bandcamp already. You will find one sale from today at least.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you, man. As long as you didn't play with any flutes.
no flutes involved. But anyways, getting back, you guys, of course, the miracle of Craigslist, you guys got together, and for a relatively, we're not talking about the personals.
Sounds
We're
so
not.
terrible.
Just because you have a sick mind does not mean I was going there. However, I am smirking because in the back of my
You
mind
get
I am
it.
thinking it
You
too. But
understand.
you guys found each other in a band capacity
Yes, there you go.
on Craigslist, which is right next to the personal, but it's not the personals.
Exactly. Get it right.
So,
Get it right.
how do you attribute, the sound you guys are putting out? And we've had two examples on this show, plus Tony played a couple. You guys sound extremely tight, even for a newly formed band. Granted, two of you have played before previously, but you guys sound really tight. What do you attribute that to?
Chemistry.
Yeah.
We're just a
We've
bunch
been-
of goofs.
Yeah, we've been flowing really well together. We have such a great connection, and when we get down in where we practice, sometimes we get kind of sidetracked. No pun intended with that, but we have a lot of fun, and we really bounce off each other really well.
So you're more friendship that happens to play music, or a band that just happens to be friends?
It's a lot of things, I guess. Now that you think about it, we don't see when I played in bands in the past. The bands always spent more time trying to lock yourself into a style. Like we want to be this kind of style of music, or we need to play this type of music. With us, being in a band, the band is an open forum. Mm-hmm. Anybody can say anything. You can put in ideas. We can try this. We can try that. But we don't want to stick to one style. If we play a song that sounds like, an older punk song, then we're gonna play it if it sounds good. If we play a song that sounds, like a heavier metal song, and we like it, we're gonna play it. So a lot of the things that you hear is stuff that we've all just out of nowhere come up with.
Sounds
or
good.
Roger has, had it in the banks, and he pulled it out and said, "Hey guys, check out this idea." And
Right.
yeah, we're all over the place. It's basically just throw it out there, and if it,
Throw at the wall, see what
and if
sticks.
it sticks,
Yeah, we
so
work together well with that
yeah,
too.
so I mean that helps too. It's a very laid back atmosphere because we don't put any pressure on ourselves because we're in this to have fun. We're in this to make good music. We're in this to make people happy, and
I see, that's one thing I've noticed. There are some bands where everyone gets together, and even if they're not playing, they'll show up to a show together. They'll hang out together, and they're friends,
Yeah.
and they just happen to be in a band. And then you have the bands that, on stage, they have this awesome persona, or they look like they're having fun, and as soon as they get off stage, they're flipping each other off, and they're like on other sides of the building. They don't want to
Well, we
even
do
deal
that,
with each
but
other.
like in a playful way.
yeah,
Well, I mean, you know what I'm getting at, though.
Yeah.
yeah,
Play
exactly.
all playful aside, because I've told Tony I can't even tell you how many times horrible things, and well, likewise he's beat me with a rubber hose for the word So
With
there
his
is that.
wrestling mask on.
That's when it just gets weird. A little bit on the fun
Incidentally, we found each other on Craigslist.
We're not under the musician part.
side. It had something to do with wrestling. Not entirely, but somewhat. Anyways, before I get sidetracked onto more weird things.
It's a great band name.
We keep getting sidetracked.
It's very easy to do, trust me.
So, aside from your October 15th show, if I wanted to check you guys out, do you have other shows coming up?
September's kind of a quiet month for us because we're going to be doing a photo shoot to do awesome photos where we're going to get all prettied up,
Now, if you didn't see it, he's doing the air quotes hand gesture. So,
That
is this? I was going to say that's going to sting a little.
I'm referring to myself. I don't know. You guys, clean up rather nicely, but no, So we got a photo shoot coming up, and then we're gonna start working on a music video. So we're hopefully gonna get those two things accomplished in September, and then work on new material. And then October we got October 15th. We're doing our show, and then the 29th we've actually been booked on to another Halloween show. 33 Gold in Connecticut.
Okay.
So I'm not sure the bands that are playing yet. We're still waiting for that, but I apologize. I would announce the bands, but I don't know yet. So
To be announced.
yeah, TBA. There you go.
That is totally acceptable because we're still a couple months out. People are going to hop on, drop off or whatever. But as long as you know the show is coming up, which is great.
As far as we know.
So why don't we take another break because we're a little bit low. Well, we still got some time, but I got a bunch of songs I want to get to. Because, having worked with Tony before, you know how Tony does like the larger ladies. And he does not make any secret at all. He tells this to everybody.
When a woman's butt looks like the Epcot Center, I believe you call it hail damage.
Hail damage.
I don't have a problem with that.
Syndrome. Yes, there's nothing wrong with a little dimpling.
Yeah, Tony, you got a few of those, man. Playing behind you for so many years, I've seen more than I care to remember.
And that was before I had hemorrhoids.
Ooh, it's an Audi. Okay, why don't we cut away for one more song here? Drunk Rob and the Shots.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
The name of the song is Fat Girls. We'll be back in a minute.
Baby, this is a song for you, little baby. Yeah. Well, a fat girl comes along, says, could you sing a love song? And I said, darling, but I know what to do. Here's a bunch of verses inspired just by you. It's called Fat Girls Make Love Too. just one last chance to get the best of me. Well, I'm just waiting for the words to come. Well, as she slips away, one last dance, one last chance to get the best of me. To get the best of me.
All right, that was Pistol Shot Gypsy, Just My Luck. Before that, for Mr. Jones himself, Drunk Rob and the Shots, Fat Girls.
My theme song.
Well, we do have a couple of upcoming events I do want to get out there for everybody. First off, most importantly, the Rhode Island Free Radio 2nd Anniversary Party, September 4th. I can't say enough about it. First off, it's going to be at the Rocky Point Clam Shack right on Post Road in West Warwick from 3 to 6 p.m. So it's going to be a nice mid-afternoon jam session. It's going to be family-friendly, so take the kids, take the wife and kids and the girlfriend, whoever.
Then it might not be so family friendly.
As long as it stays family-friendly. And it's not just going to be a bunch of people hanging out with a banner floating that says Rhode Island Free Radio. No, we're going to entertain you. You know, I don't know how important it is that I will be DJing, but I will be playing some music that night. But more importantly, we're going to have... What's that?
I said you'll be doing a striptease.
No. Like I said, family-friendly.
It's family friendly, so I'll have clam cakes over his nipples.
Well, getting back to the music side of this, we're going to have Rob Dumont. He's coming down. Ben Carter and Eric Benoit from, Most Dangerous Men Alive. They just broke up. They had their farewell. Hopefully they're going to have a reunion, but they just had a farewell show, and they got another band in the works. They're going to come down and do an acoustic set. Rob Dumont and Brian Cabral is coming down. Tony, you could tell us a little bit more about the sound Brian puts out.
Yeah, Brian Cabral's kind of, I would say he has a tiki sound. He plays the ukulele, but he also plays the acoustic guitar, and, it's going to be great oceanfront music coming from Mr. Cabral.
Cool. So yeah, that's going to be on, again, September 4th. And also, we don't have a definite date yet. This is the nailing Jello to the wall announcement, by the way. We don't have a definite date. We don't have definite bands yet. All we know is the oldest living teenager, Mr. George Gorner, is getting married,
Yes.
and we're putting on the bachelor party.
Now, that's a little, pointer about where my life is. Our friend Chuckles the Clown just had a kid. We've got fitted up for our suits yesterday for George's for George's wedding. I went to a bachelor party. George now has a mortgage. I, on the other hand, bought every Killer Croc comic book this past weekend. So just let's straighten things out.
I got to ask, though, is George getting married in a church?
He is, yeah, because his fiance is very religious, so he's going full-blown Catholic, old school.
High mass and everything. Oh,
Yep.
Good for him.
Yeah. George, God bless you. And you did take away a little bit of my thunder. I did want to put out the thank you for that. Chuckles the Clown, Rhode Island Free Radio alum, him and Nurse Misery had their first child, Lydia. What was it, last night before?
Saturday night, yeah.
Saturday night. All right, so it was last night. I don't know the size. We know it's Lydia. I know she has a full head of hair because I saw the pictures. So congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Chuckles the Clown, on your firstborn.
Could you just imagine, 16, 17, 18 years from now, being the poor young man that takes that girl out for a date, shows up, knocks on the door, and an evil clown answers?
Well, I've got 13 nieces and nephews. And whenever they go on their dates, eventually the date is going to have to meet Uncle Ed. I know I look intimidating, and I let them think that for a long time. But I don't know what would be more intimidating, having here's my uncle with the shotgun, or here's my dad the clown.
Sounds like it's Bad Boy 2 style.
Bad the clown would scare me.
Do clowns scare you?
Here's the funny thing. Clowns do scare me. But quick story, if we have a minute. The Rocky Point, the new Rocky Point DVD that just came out, Tales from
Yes.
Rocky Point. Excellent documentary. Saw Mr. Tony Jones in it. Chuckles was in it.
Yes.
And my daughter knows I have a fear of clowns, so we're watching it, and my daughter goes, "Ooh, Daddy, look, a clown!" Like I was gonna get scared. And I said, "Well, I'm not afraid of that clown." And she goes, "Why is that?" I said, "Because that's Chuckles." And I said, "I've met him several times." And I go, "Underneath all that scary makeup," I'm like, "He's a pretty nice guy." So I disappointed her not being afraid of that clown. So Chuckles is the exception.
Well, I got to tell you two stories really quick. Number one, I do hold a record at Comic-Con. I made 3 people wet themselves in one day dressed as a clown.
Oh, Jesus.
And do you know how messy it is wetting yourself when you're wearing sweatpants?
Oh, you just narrowed it down to half the people that showed up. The other half were in costume, and it just flowed freely.
So, word of advice: don't eat anything off the floor.
No. And in all honesty, 2 of them were totally accidental. Not the whole evacuation of the bladder, the whole scenario. I was walking really quickly because I had to pee. I'm on medication. I'm on blood pressure medication that has a diuretic in it. So nature calls. You got to answer. So I had a head of steam going. I was trucking down that alleyway aisle pretty quickly because I just had a 5-minute conversation that was 3 minutes too long. And, I'm trying to get to the men's room as quickly as possible, and I could see the girl look over her shoulder, and she went forward really quick, and she sped up. Whatever, I don't care because I'm walking. I got the goal. I don't care what's in between. Well, she looks over her shoulder again. She speeds up more. She looks over her shoulder again, speeds up more. Finally, we're almost at the men's room. She trips over her own feet, lands on the floor right in front of me, lets out to scream. I didn't realize it, but she had wet herself at that moment. As I was stepping over her to get into the men's room.
That's a good way to clear the lines to the bathroom, huh? Charge.
So,
I had the same problem, but I was running after the last piece of fried chicken.
and that's why Crown Fried Chicken has their own section just for Mr. Jones.
I have to step through the velvet rope when I go to Crown Fried Chicken.
But anyways, yeah, those are the upcoming things. I'm actually surprised, and you guys should be honored. I was actually so excited about this. Normally, after a show like last night, I did Kahuna last night. 30 bands, 3 stages at FET last night.
My goodness.
I got there 2 hours before it opened. I left there just as it closed, and I literally was on my feet for that whole time, and I had a blast. I got to meet Waylon Reeves, originally from Mushroom Head. Now he's doing a little bit with Dead by Wednesday. We're awesome guys in their own right. Opus, who's the drummer, Rob, who is the lead singer, they came down to another show I did out in the middle of the woods out in Middleborough, Mass. Literally, the stage was made out of pallets and plywood.
Awesome.
And they put on the most awesome acoustic set. They did. If you look me up on Facebook, they did a cover of Snuff the Rooster.
Wow.
Oh, it was absolutely amazing.
Nice.
If you ever get a chance, look it up. I post it up once in a while. You definitely want to check those guys out. And anyways, just hanging out in the backstage. I had all access because I was one of the performers, but pretty much everything we talked about, the camaraderie, like the bands that hook up, and, oh yeah, this is all great and whatever, and then the bands that are like, go get your head stuffed and whatever. But the one that really surprised me was Cobra Kai. Have you seen them?
Yes.
Okay. You know what exactly I'm talking about. They will not play unless they're drunk. Did you know that?
That I didn't
They
know.
are a party. They are truly a party band.
That's
Now, I've been on a pool team where you had the 6 beer minimum. You could not get on the table until you had 6 beers in you because it loosened you up enough to do whatever it is on the pool table. Well, that was my rule anyways. I don't know about the rest of the team. Anyways, Cobra Kai, they will not play, unless they've had a cup. I don't know if they're drunk or if they just take the edge off. I don't know how bad they get, but they did some 80s rock and roll metal songs, and they were just phenomenal. Now, Mark Lopes, lead singer, he can get that. I don't even know what you want to call it. That flutter to your voice, like the lead singer from Judas Priest.
Okay.
You know, that,
There it is. I was going to ask for example.
That's good.
that I can do that really quietly. I'm not going to get in front of people and do that. I know how stupid I'd look doing it. But anyways, he can get that vibrato or whatever you want to call it out of his voice, and he does an amazing job on these songs that a lot of people try to cover and just can't.
Nice.
So definitely want to check them out. Justin Sane, Matt Ribeiro put on a phenomenal show, and the highlight of my night was just getting my picture taken with Waylon. He's actually sitting there talking to him. He is the most humble person, and well,
Those are the best kind of musicians.
oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Huh?
So that's going to cut it up. But I do have to throw one jab at you guys. The band name 1031. If you do research on it, you guys are not the first. Not even the first in the Rhode Island area. They're a bunch of guys out of Providence, and I talked to you guys off the air. They might actually consider bringing you guys on one of their reunion shows because they did get a chance to listen to your music. And well, here's an example of what they put out. This is going to be our ending song. So have a good night, everybody. Thank you for listening. Here's 1031, 10/31, just so we have the differential there. 10/31. The name of the song is Texas Death. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Pushing on, let it all come out to the blood is gone.